With nearly 2.5 million people behind bars, the United States incarcerates more people than any other country in the world. The number of women in prison in this country has increased by more than 800% in the last 30 years.
I'm incarcerated here at WCCW under the charges of robbery, and I've been here for 2 years. And I've had a tough life. You know, I've always been in and out of drugs. I knew I would either end up here or dead, and I guess this is the better of the two.
I felt like I was gonna hit the wall, but I didn't know how far it was gonna go, how hard that wall was gonna really hit me.
One thing led to another, and I started getting my money illegally, various ways. Some was identity theft stuff, and some was selling drugs. Eventually, it ended up kind of catching up with me, and I'm a felon now.
I mean, I was young and I was dumb. I started going down a road that wasn't good, and I didn't realize I got addicted to methamphetamine, and I started writing checks to support my drug habit. And then after that, I was just like, I was a felon. I was in prison before, and it's just been a revolving door for me, which is horrible, and I feel horrible about that.
Me and my boyfriend had gotten in trouble. We're both incarcerated for the same thing. He's a little bit older. We've been together for 9 years though, so ever since we were young, so.
One out of 17 women who enter prison in this country do so while pregnant. These women bring with them many of the hallmarks of high-risk pregnancies, including prior homelessness, poverty, substance abuse and addiction, and a greater likelihood of having been physically or sexually abused.
You have to do a strip in, and they write down like any identifying marks, and they give you a pregnancy test. So it was a horrible moment because I'm standing there naked, and she tells me that I'm pregnant. My heart just broke because I just had to walk away from my firstborn child, and now I'm in prison and I'm about to have another one. And I was 19, and it was sad and scary, and I was confused.
I actually found out I was pregnant the day before my crime even happened. That day that my crime happened, I was going to go have an abortion. And early that morning, got arrested and went to county for a month. I really think that was a message from God. Like, I was really planning on, I was going that day. I had it, appointment and everything. And then that happened. And then I was, sitting there in the cell, of all places, just thinking, why did this happen? And my baby's dad was actually in the next cell next door to me, and the police officer was kind enough to let us talk. And we talked about it, and we decided to keep her.
I found out I was pregnant during us going to court. It was very hard. We were having all these thoughts, like, what should we do? Should we just run away and not deal with it, go have our baby?
It was the worst day of my life when I found out I was pregnant. I was just thinking, what do I do? I want to be there for him, and I want to give him a good life.
Many women's prisons do not provide adequate prenatal care, nutritionally appropriate diets, or suitable work assignments to pregnant inmates. Infants are separated from their mothers almost immediately following birth.
I was worried that how would I get through this without my kid? Having your kid and then having it taken away from you at birth, like, how would I be able to survive?
I just made wrong decisions. For me to be a mom to my son is really important to me, so I can raise him so he doesn't have to go through what I went through. And so he doesn't have to, do what I did.
In 1999, the Washington State Correction Center for Women created a unique program that allows pregnant minimum security inmates with sentences less than 3 years the opportunity to keep their babies with them after giving birth. The inmate mothers live with their babies in special housing known as the J Unit. Each mother has her own room with an adult bed and a baby crib or toddler bed. They have access to a kitchenette, a communal playroom, and an outside play area. They receive support, education, and a long-term opportunity to bond with their infants.
This program allows the baby to come back to the prison with the mom, and they're able to build that relationship, and that child isn't suffering that detachment that most children go through when their parents are in prison.
The overall goal of incarceration or corrections is to reduce the recidivism in any offender that we have in incarceration. Some of the goals that we have in this unit are really more geared towards helping new moms understand how to take care of their child, responsibilities of parenthood.
Aid at home. Again, with an infant,